I thought I would like to say something about the differences between countries when it comes to how to respond to the COVID-19 crisis or the COVID-19 pandemic, because it's so obvious that, and there is really something that we can learn from this when it comes to management, leadership in times of crisis or in times of epidemics, pandemics, or things like this, like COVID-19. I'm from Norway, and I'm living in Thailand for the time being, in Southeast Asia, and I've been seeing the strong differences between the Asian response and the European response. And when it comes to Norway, it is very striking that, there is no clear messages. Everything is, oh, hello, Norwegian population. We hope that you could try to understand a little bit about this pandemic, and if you can, consider to be careful. We don't want you to have big parties. Stay at least with 1 meter between yourselves, and cover your face with a mask when you are, for instance, on public transportation, like a full bus or a full tram or a full subway full of people or something like that. It would be great if you could cooperate a little bit. It would be great if you could understand that we have to be careful now, and we're going to take a lockdown, perhaps of the whole society, but don't worry too much. It's just that we're going to lock down everything from time to time and blah blah. This is the Norwegian response, and of course they have occurrences of new infections. And so my whole point is that it's just too soft. It's unclear, it's too soft, and there's no real leadership in this. In Asia, or in certain Asian, Southeast Asian and Asian countries, everything's much more clear. Just take a look at Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand. The leadership is like this. Hello, population, we have a crisis here. We don't want this virus to affect our society and break our economy and give a big damage to the well-being of our country, so we're going to lock down, and you are going to wear a mask. Everyone is going to wear a mask, and in the first 3 weeks of this, we're going to have a curfew. Everyone has to stay indoors after 10 o'clock at night. There will be no serving of alcohol, and everyone will respect the 1 meter distance rule of social distancing. That's how it is. That's how we will do this in the beginning of this pandemic. You can see the difference, right? It's just clear. Messages are clear. This is leadership. I'm just telling you, this is the situation. We're going to do it like this. And you can see also, in all the European countries, I would never dream to blame anyone, because it's just horrible what Spain and France and Italy has suffered. But we have to understand that lockdown is not enough. Lockdown is lockdown of society, or of business in society, is a technical measure, which of course is very serious, but that's just one part of it. Communication is the absolutely most important thing. Make your population understand that there's something going on here, and we want to prevent it. We don't want this virus to damage us, so we are going to take our precautions. We're going to do it like this. We're going to have a curfew. We will stop the serving of alcohol. There will be no more public gatherings. You will always respect the 1 meter rule. You will wear a mask at all times, even if you're sick or not sick. It doesn't matter. Wear a mask. Everyone is going to do that. When things get better, we will take a different approach, you know. So this is the difference, and of course it has to do with the European attitude of democracy, right? Same in America. In America, there's absolutely no leadership, and even the population would not dream of even respecting the leadership. If the president of America told people to wear a face mask, they would simply say, "Ha ha, well, of course not. I'm going to do that. I'm a free person. I'm an American. I have French fries in my pocket and I can do whatever I want. I'm going to eat hamburgers and enjoy my freedom." You know, and of course the whole country will be in a mess because there's no leadership and there's no true communication and there's no respect for we cannot say respect for authority, because that's what it's not about. You don't have to respect the authority, you just have to accept to follow the guidelines of the authority when a crisis occurs. You don't have to be you don't have to support or follow or respect every aspect of the authority or of the regime that controls your country, but you have to follow the guidelines that the regimes puts forth. You know, this is what we're going to do. This is the situation. This is how we're going to deal with it. It's not a discussion. It's not a dialogue. This is it. This is it. We're going to try to give you the best information that we can. Go to this website, go to that website. We will try to inform you as best as we can. At this stage, we don't know everything, but we will do it like this. And we want to do it now before it's too late. Please help us to make our country safe. Please help us to protect the things that we need to protect, and we have to pay a heavy price in order to protect that. But we are willing to pay that price because we don't want to lose more, right? If the virus gets hold of us, then the price tag will be much higher and a lot of lives will be lost, and the health department will be overloaded, or the health system might break down. So we're going to do it in this way, you know. So that's the differences between, in Asia, you know, you could say that, yeah, but they are dictatorships, they are old, they have the attitude of dictatorships, and you cannot, I mean, of course there is authoritarian aspects and qualities and characteristics in many Asian countries, in Japan, in Taiwan, in South Korea, in Thailand, of course, especially because it's a little bit particular situation there with the military regime and so forth. But the truth of the matter is that when something occurs, you have to deal with it. And Europe and Western countries who are swimming around in a confused state of freedom and democracy, it's not efficient when it comes to leadership, and it's not efficient when it comes to the response in the public. The response in the population should be receptive. You know, if you tell people in Thailand to do something, they will do it. It's going to take 3 minutes until they do it. If you talk like this to people in Norway, it's going to take 3 days before they perhaps do it. And in America, it's going to take 3 weeks before they will consider to maybe follow the advice. So this is an interesting phenomenon. We are all in favor of democracy. We're all in favor of freedom of speech. We're all in favor of all the things that has to do with human rights and the well-being of our soul and hearts and minds and our society as a whole. But we have to be willing to accept to follow guidelines. We have to be flexible when it comes to following what people tells us to do. And this is a striking difference between European or Western countries and Asian countries. So this is one of the points where clear leadership, clear messages absolutely will come out with a better result than a leadership that says, well, yeah, this is very bad, and if it's possible for you to consider to be a good boy and do as we say, that would be really nice. It's just not good enough. You have to be clear. You have to say, this is how we're going to do it. This is what you are going to do today. You are going to wear a face mask, and you're going to be inside your own house after 10 o'clock at night, and there's going to be no alcohol. And that's just how it is. Sometimes clarity, decisions, clear communication gets better results. Okay, it was just a little point, but it's interesting to be aware of it. Thanks.